Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Mayor Ted Betancourt, and I am so grateful to be here today with all of you to honor our military veterans on this Veterans Day. We also recognize the members of the families who are here today, whose love and support help make their service to our country possible. I have been very fortunate in my life. I feel blessed in many ways. I am married to a wonderful woman. I'm the proud father of 4 children, and I have the great privilege to be mayor of the city of Peabody. These blessings and so many more are made possible by all of you, the men and women who served our country in uniform on behalf of a grateful community and a grateful country. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your sacrifices. Our first Veterans Day breakfast at City Hall took place in 2012 during my first year as mayor. That year, we held a special commemoration for veterans of World War II. 2 years later, in 2014, we honored Korean War veterans. In 2016, the year of Peabody's centennial anniversary, we recognized women veterans. And in 2018, we held a special ceremony honoring Vietnam and Vietnam-era veterans. Although we were unable to hold a breakfast in 2020 due to the pandemic, we were determined to resume this biannual tradition as soon as circumstances allowed. This year, we are grateful to be back together, and we are proud to recognize those Peabody residents who served our country during the Gulf War era, including Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm. As we have done in previous years, we'll be presenting a commemorative coin with the city seal on one side and a representation of the Gulf War era on the other. The coin, and indeed this breakfast, are just small tokens of the profound love and gratitude we feel for our Gulf War era veterans and for all of our military veterans. Peabody has a proud tradition of honoring those who have served our country in uniform. Many of our streets, schools, and parks carry the names of those who have served and sacrificed. We hold a Memorial Day parade, a beloved tradition when residents line Washington and Main streets to salute our fallen heroes. And I'm so glad we were able to bring that back earlier this year. We help veterans receive their benefits to which they are entitled and offer transportation and other services to try and make their lives and their families' lives a little easier. In doing things, we teach each new generation that military service is something to be honored, respected, and never taken for granted. Before breakfast is served today, let's take a moment to quietly acknowledge those who are currently serving and protecting us here at home and around the world. We pray for them, for their families, and for their safety. If we can just take a moment. Thank you. So we have a fun, action-packed morning here with some great music, some great food coming shortly. We have a little bit of a program, and then we're going to take some time again to eat. I did want to make some recognitions. We have a number of elected officials, and I'm going to introduce them a little later, but I wanted to make some special introductions today. I want to first recognize our band, the Riverside Renaissance Swing Band. If I can, round of applause. They've been with us every breakfast, and they do an amazing job. And thank you, Mr. Lucas, and all the band members. Appreciate it. Thank you. And I did want to recognize, we have 3 veterans who are in the band today, and I wanted to recognize them. A senior member of the band, 93-year-old Murray Bernstein, United States Air Force, Korea. If you please stand. Thank you, Mr. Bernstein. Lead trombone, Jack Austin, Staff Sergeant, United States Army Reserve. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And Peabody resident Henry Lucas, Captain, United States Marine Corps veteran, Vietnam. Thank you, sir. I wanted to recognize our high school cadet guard. I should have brought my glasses with me. There's sunglasses here, but I don't think that's going to help me. United States Color Guard from Peabody Veterans Memorial High School, Canet, Bardina, Lanning, Lemaire, Philemond, and Swenson. Oh. So I just got my dad, just gave me a pair of glasses, so this was great. I wasn't expecting that, but my father, I'm very proud, is a veteran of the United States Air Force during the Vietnam War era. And so my father, Ed Betancourt. I also wanted to recognize our Peabody police officers, Peabody Fire Department that are here today. Our police chief, Tom Griffin, is here. I wanted to recognize them. So many of our public safety officers are veterans, which is wonderful. So we're going to start things off. I wanted to invite to come up and sing our national anthem will be Riley Linger. Riley, come on up.
Can I use some microphone?
Yep.
Present. Oh.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Police coming up. Right? Hey.
Thank you. And if we get another round of applause for our singer, Riley Langer from Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. And a special thank you to our Peabody Veterans Memorial High School Color Guard and our Peabody Police and Peabody Fire Department officers that are here today. So as a special tribute today to show our solidarity with those fighting in Ukraine, we're going to have a special performance by the band today to play the Ukrainian national anthem. Turn it over, Mr. Lucas. Thank you. And now always one of my favorite parts of our breakfast is the time when we play the service song. The band will play the individual branch service songs, and I ask that each veteran stand when they hear their branch song played. Mr. Lucas. Yeah. Thank you, that was great. Next, I wanted to ask our vocalist, Kim Arazia, to come forward. She's going to sing God Bless America with the band. That was amazing, Kim. Thank you so much. Kim is a music teacher at St. John's School right next to Peabody City Hall, and thank you to her and to the band. Great job. Next it's my honor to introduce the Peabody Veterans Memorial High School Junior Air Force ROTC students to come forward to perform a POW MIA ceremony.
As you entered the banquet hall this evening, you may have noticed a small table in a place of honor. It is set for one. The table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of our profession of arms are missing from our midst. These are commonly called POWs or MIAs. We call them brothers and sisters. They are unable to be with us this evening, and so we remember them. This table set for one is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against their oppressors. Remember. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. Remember. The single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the families and loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep the faith awaiting their return. Remember. The yellow ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the yellow ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. Remember. The candle. The candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unconquerable spirit. Remember. A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. Remember. There was salt upon the bread plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. Remember. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this night. Remember. The chair. The chair is empty. They are not here. Remember. All of you who served with them called them comrades, who depended upon their might and aid and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. Remember. Remember. Until the day they come home, remember.
Please be seated.
I wanted to mention that was Cadet Samantha Linda, who was the narrator, and Cadet Saeed Calderon, who was the presenter. That was a wonderful job. Thank you. So now we are going to serve breakfast. I want to thank our Brothers Restaurant on Main Street. They will be serving the food today along with a number of volunteers. I hope everybody enjoys the breakfast. After about a half hour, we do have an additional ceremonial part that we are going to do, but please, hope everybody can enjoy breakfast and talk and enjoy one another's company. So thank you again for being here. So please, everybody stay seated. We'll be serving all of you. Chris, she was waiting in the back. So Steve. Ready? Steve, ready? Could I get everyone's attention, please? Could I have everyone's attention? Thank you, yeah. So again, so happy to have all of you here. We do have another little ceremonial part we wanted to do, and after a terrific breakfast. I did have a couple of announcements, and then we're going to go right to the second part of our program. But I wanted to make sure, I think tickets are going around. We are going to have some door prizes right at the end before we give out our coins. We're going to have some raffle tickets picked out of a hat for some special gifts. We have right in front of us here in front of the stage, we have this beautiful flag board that we're going to give as a gift. Also, 2 tickets to our holiday concert, which is coming up on Sunday, December 4th. And then we have some gift certificates as well. So we'll be doing that at the end. And so I want to make sure everybody had a ticket. If you don't have a ticket, please make sure you mention it to somebody and we'll get you a ticket if you don't have one. I wanted to mention and thank Mr. Jim Ryan. Mr. Ryan is a Peabody resident and a veteran, and he did the beautiful pictures that are around the auditorium. Mr. Ryan. All right, Mr. Ryan, thank you. I wanted to mention we had Senator Joan Lovely here a short time ago, and unfortunately she had to step away to another event. But I wanted to mention that Senator Joan Lovely was here, as well as our State Representative Tom Walsh. Tom, thank you for being here. We have some tremendous support always for our veterans from our City Council and our school committee. We have a number of City Councilors and school committee members that are here today that are volunteering, assisting with today's event. And I wanted to recognize first our veteran himself, Ryan Melville. Is Ryan here? And I wanted to thank from our counselors at large, Tom Rosignol and Tom Gould. Thank you both. Ward 1 Counselor Craig Welton, Ward 2 Counselor Peter McGinn, Ward 3 Counselor Stephanie Peach, and Ward 4 Counselor Julie Daigle. I wanted to thank all of you. And from our school committee, I wanted to thank Joe Amico, Beverly Dunn, and John Olympio. Thank you for your work. Okay, so we in the city of Peabody are very fortunate. We have an outstanding Veteran Services Officer here in the city of Peabody who has done a wonderful job for our city and is primarily responsible for the work tonight to prepare for this breakfast. I wanted to thank from his office a wonderful young lady who does amazing work for our veterans as well, and I wanted to recognize her, Tammy Jones. Tammy, over here. I called her a young lady because we graduated high school together, and it makes me feel young when I say that she's young. Right, Tammy? And, but I wanted to bring up our Veteran Services Officer. He's going to lead the next part of our program. But he's done an amazing job working for our veterans. He started a program to transport our veterans to their medical appointments and some other needs that I know has helped veterans and their families. And has done an amazing job. And I actually know a number of people here today are some of those very drivers that volunteer to help the city, which is incredibly important. So I wanted to invite our Veteran Services Officer, Steve Patton, to come up. Steve?
Yeah, Mayor is very modest. Himself and the other elected officials that were just introduced, they had a meeting last night. Instead of going home to their families, maybe actually having something to eat, they stayed here. They rolled out these heavy tables and put it all together for all of you. So if I can have another round of applause for all of them. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years. I was on the job for a little under 2 months when I first met you in 2016 at that first breakfast, and indeed that was the first time I actually got to shake many of your hands. I can honestly say, without a shadow of a doubt, it's been the best 6 years of my life. So I've been able to watch my kids grow up, and I've been able to serve each and every one of you every single day. It has been an absolute privilege, and I thank you for that. Thank you. In the past 6 years, we've seen some excellent progress in our Veterans Department and the services that we can provide you. It was a very good idea 6 years ago, and it wasn't mine, but when you listen to other people and listen to their thoughts, sometimes they have some really tremendous ideas, and that's what happened in this case when we started the driving program. So right now, every veteran living in the city is eligible for up to 4 rides to private and VA medical appointments per month. We pick you up at your front door. It's really nice when it's cold and it's coming. We drive you there, we bring you in, and then we wait for you and drive you right home door-to-door service. So that's a wonderful thing. And some of our volunteer drivers are here today, so if you could give them a round of applause, would be great. Another thing we've tried to focus on in the past 6 years is VA disability compensation. 6 years ago, the city taking in total federal veterans benefits into the city. And there are some agencies that contribute, but the statistic remains that 6 years ago, the city was receiving $3 million a year in veterans benefits, the city's veterans, money actually into your pockets. As of last month, we finally, I'm proud to say, passed Lynn and became the #1 city on the North Shore for veterans benefits at $12 million a year. So. And a big part of that is all of you, because if you don't seek the benefit, you don't know what's. I can't even begin to tell you how many times people don't know. I didn't know I was entitled to this. I didn't know I was entitled to that. Well, if our phone doesn't ring downstairs, we can't help you. So please do that. We really would love to help you. So help us help you. Also, the past few years, we've seen some tremendous changes. The Air Force Junior ROTC program has come miles and miles from a struggling organization to one of the top in the country. So this past month, they went to a national competition and finished 6th, putting Peabody right on the map. So there's your cadets. So the next portion of our breakfast begins now. You're going to hear, see and hear a flag folding ceremony by Junior ROTC cadets Jay Bardina, who is narrating, Taylor Lemaire, and Samantha Linda.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations of military satellites that circle our globe and on the fin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every person who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our U.S. military, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's servicemen and women remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom, at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, servicemen and women have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we, as Americans, enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and all. Long may it wave.
Terrific job. The Junior ROTC Rifle Team will now present. That will include Cadet Marcus Betancourt, the new commander of the JROTC, Cadet Wanderson Philemond, Cadet Louis Joffrey, Cadet Caden Lanning, Cadet Christian Swenson, and Cadet Saeed Calderon. It's an honor to stand here right now before you. We're going to recognize today's honored veteran. So I sit down in the office, the phone rings, people make appointments, people come, people go. I hear some of the most amazing stories. I mean, that's the real privilege of being in the office, is the stories you hear. You learn a lot about not only the veterans, you learn about their family members, and some of the amazing lives they've led. Now, this veteran sat down with me. I have no idea what's going to come out of people's mouths or what the paperwork's going to show. And every now and then, I'm just so moved by it. I say, we need to recognize this individual. So I'm looking at the paperwork. Now, I always said I'm no hero, but I was a member of the 4th Brigade Combat Team, 82nd Airborne Division. We were the tip of the spear in Afghanistan in 2009-10, and then again in 2012. We lost 76 KIA in 2.5 years. My big privilege in Afghanistan was it was like sitting on the 50-yard line in the front row for the Super Bowl. I was able to see how generals work. I was able to see how line units work. It was really special. We saw Silver Star recipients. We saw some amazing things. That's why, a few weeks ago, I was absolutely floored. I'm looking at this paperwork from the National Personnel Record Center. It's old photocopies, sometimes hard to read. In this case, it was a little hard to read. And then I saw something I haven't seen in 6 years. This Marine served from 1966 to 1968. He received the Vietnam Service Medal, the Vietnam Campaign Medal, the U.S. Marine Corps Combat Action Ribbon, a Purple Heart, a Navy Commendation Medal with Combat V. He served at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, before deploying to Vietnam from 1967 to 68. During his year in Vietnam, this individual served in 14 separate combat operations, including 11 confirmed search and destroy missions. So now when you look at the paperwork, I mean, that's just not something that comes through my door. You see, like search and destroy missions, like in quotes. Now, it named all the different operations. So I said, wow, already I was just floored. But then I decided, what do we have these days? We have Google, right? So I started to Google the different operations. And that's when my mind was blown. So when you look at the information I received from my little search, during this person's time in combat, he fought against immeasurable odds. During the combined battles that he was in, those 11 search and destroy missions, there were 337 Marines killed, 720 Marines wounded in action, and 2 Marines MIA POW. So when the students were doing that display today, that's all I could think about. 2 of the people that he served with didn't even come back. We don't even know where they are. So another thing that struck me, when you analyze the data and look at the information on the paper, so after the second mission, there's an explosion. He takes shrapnel in his left forearm. He goes to the medical clinic. He's there, the medical tent they had set up. He was there for 4 days. And he said, patch me up, because I'm going back out. And that's what his records show exactly what he did. 4 days. I mean, he could have probably punched a ticket home. But instead of doing that, he leaned forward. Lead from the front. And that's what he did. This individual, after that, he did 9 more search and destroy missions after being wounded. He still works at the age of 78. He's just a terrific person, and I'm so happy to call him my friend. Please give a round of applause for this year's honored veteran, Corporal Frank J. Schettino, Jr., United States Marine Corps. Frank, please rise and be recognized.
So we're very fortunate. We have some amazing students at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School doing amazing things in the classrooms, and the programs with the Air Force Junior ROTC, the sports fields, and in our auditoriums. And it's my pleasure to introduce the Peabody Veterans Memorial High School Chorale, who's going to sing some songs for us today. And I wanted to recognize Mr. John Simmons. Turn it over to our outstanding students.
Whatever happens, you can That selection was our Full House theme song. This is the Full House a cappella ensemble from our Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. That past selection included two soloists. That was Riley Linger and Tori Shaw. This next selection is a Joni Mitchell tune, Big Yellow Taxi, and features Riley Linger again on the solo.
With the tinkle tale of the line up with Emil and Kat.
This is our last selection. It's called Connected, and it's kind of cool. A couple of the students designed the choreography. I'll take no credit for that. And here we go. Connected. Got the picture still? 1, 2, 4.
I am you, mommy. That's what I said. I am you, army. Don't you see? I am you, army. That's what I said. I am you, army. Don't you
It
see?
seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start.
I am you, army. That's what I said. I am you, army. Don't you
It
see?
seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there, but there is something between us that's greater than ever. It seems like I'm over here and you're over there. I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start. I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start. I am a part of you, you are a part of me, and so together we are one body. I am inside your head, you are inside my heart. We fit together, perfect from the start.
One of the things I was thinking about when they were performing was it's a really special gift to be able to, I mean, that was a cappella. They're creating from nothing, beauty from nothing. You know, when we fought wars for freedom so that we can watch our kids grow up and do things just like that. And those young adults are our future. So please give another round of applause to them. So it's my honor to introduce this year's, the 2022 Veterans Breakfast keynote speaker. This leader of service members is the current Air Force Junior ROTC Senior Aerospace Science Instructor at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. He and Master Sergeant Chris Lanning have done nothing short of remarkable with what they've done with this program. But I want to tell you a little bit about his background. So, Lieutenant Colonel Raymond R. Erickson, U.S. Air Force retired, punctuated his 25-year active duty Air Force career in 2017 as the commander of the 26th Operations Support Squadron, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. He served thousands of airmen in leadership positions as a squadron commander, detachment commander, director of operations, and chief of wing intelligence. Now, I've met him many times. I wanted to share him with all of you, with the community. So I think he's really something special, and he's a leader of leaders. Something I didn't know that I'm really impressed with now. He was the chief of intelligence for the multinational forces in Baghdad, Iraq. He was also the deputy chief of Iraqi Security Forces Transition Combined Joint Task Force Troy Counter IED Multinational Corps, Baghdad, Iraq, in a second combat tour. So without further ado, I give you this year's keynote speaker, Lieutenant Colonel Raymond R. Erickson, U.S. Air Force, retired.
Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be here with you today. Steve gives quite an introduction. He asked me, or kind of volunteered me to be the keynote speaker, and I was like, oh, thanks, Steve. I appreciate the opportunity. There's about 100 other people in the room right now that could give this and tell some phenomenal stories about your service, so I'm just honored to be up here and be thought of that way. I am Lieutenant Colonel Ray Erickson. I work at Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. Emphasis on the Veterans Memorial part. And anytime somebody at the school says Peabody High School, I quickly and respectfully correct them and say it's Peabody Veterans Memorial High School. I'm not from Peabody. Most of you know that, but I'm so proud to serve and be part of this great community. Thank you, Mayor. You guys are awesome. Steve and the rest of the team for this event. Give it up for them if you had a good time today, and I think you did. I'm blessed to be in your company and honored to celebrate Veterans Day with you. Veterans Day is a big day for me personally. So if I get choked up when I'm talking, sometimes it's hard to talk about, but I like doing it anyway. And there's over 100 veterans here today in attendance, and again, I'm just so happy to be here. But I'll apologize to you up front. I know we're not supposed to have a favorite, but my favorite Peabody veteran, my partner in crime, Sarge, aka Master Sergeant Chris Lanning, is here. Yeah, you can give it up. He's over there. He's over there in the corner. Now, he's not originally from Peabody either. Don't hold that against him. But if you saw him work like I do day in and day out, you would see how much he's invested in the future of Peabody. You would see it. Look around at the other young men and women in uniform today in our program who performed today and served you breakfast. And you'll see the fruit of his dedication and commitment to the city in everything we do. These guys, and this is about you today, but you guys have been so gracious in telling me how great these kids are, and they are. Most of the kids you see here today in uniform returned last Saturday from a whirlwind 7-day trip to DC for 3 days, Fort Bragg for a night, and then 2 nights down in Molina, Georgia for the Raider competition that the mayor and Mr. Patton mentioned earlier. We had them up every morning at 5 o'clock. And by the time it was lights out, most days 9 o'clock, they were asleep, like in seconds. It was kind of like basic training all over again, if all of you can remember that, right? You couldn't wait to go to bed, and I'm pretty sure they were that way too, right? It was when it was time to go to bed, maybe not all the rooms, Christian, but they got back Saturday evening, last Saturday evening, exhausted. I gave them Sunday, and on Monday, I pulled in the leadership team, and they're all here today, and I said, this Friday's Veterans Day, and your city needs you. And I thought, I really did. They're teenagers, they're high school kids. I have one at home. My oldest is well past her teenage years, but I remember I was expecting kind of the, I didn't get that at all. I got, yes, sir, let's do this. What do we need to do? And not only were they here today, but yesterday they were at 2 of the elementary schools. Monday they'll be at another elementary school. This afternoon we're going over to Rosewood Nursing Home to do that same flag demo for people that couldn't get over here in that house. So these guys are rock stars. Everybody talks about what a great job Sarge and I are doing with these kids. These kids are awesome. They lead, they show who they are every day. They're making your city proud. So thank you to them. I'm a veteran, you can see that. I'm the son of a veteran. I'm the grandson of a veteran. I'm a great-grandson of a veteran. And now a father of a veteran. And I don't remember specifically feeling the desire to serve just because my dad served, right? Sometimes that's a thing. You know, there's a family tradition and that's a thing. Dad served, I'm gonna serve, his dad served. I don't remember ever feeling that. I just think my family was always wired that way, right? And maybe some of you experienced that same thing. You know, genetically. I mean, my daughter, Morgan, who's 27 now, she moved with her old man 8 times in the first 16 years of her life. Now, that's enough involuntary life transition to resent military life forever, right? But then she joined ROTC in college, commissioned, and served 4 years in the Air Force, and only just recently separated because she really missed home and wanted to be in New Hampshire, right? So I just think it's baked in. It's baked into me. I think it's baked into you. We're just wired to serve, just like you're wired that way, inclined to serve something greater than yourself. Understanding the way we serve, our commitment to each other, the goodness in the result and that is greater than the sum of the parts. This room is full of servants. Full of servants. Earlier in the program, Mayor Betancourt recognized 93-year-old Lieutenant Murray Bernstein, United States Air Force, Korea. Is Lieutenant Bernstein still here? Please tell me he's here. All right, if he's not, when you see him, now, I think the mayor recognized him because he's the senior member of the band and he's 93 years old, right? And he's here with us today and he played in the band. What many of you didn't see or don't know, when I got here, Lieutenant Bernstein was sitting over on that bench over there, blood coming down his face, with an EMT member right next to him treating him for a fall he took, all right? He took this fall at home getting ready this morning to come here to play in the band. He drove here with blood all over his face, and the EMTs were treating him like, we got to take you home. We're going to put you in the ambulance and we're going to take you home. And he said, no, I came here to play in the band. I came here to play today, and I'm going to play. That's a servant. Kids, is the chorus still here or did they leave? The next time you wake up on a Monday morning and you just don't feel like going to school because something's wrong, I want you to invoke the image of Lieutenant Murray Bernstein, and you'll never miss school again. That's a servant. That's who I want to serve with. That's why I serve. The prophet Isaiah, he said, I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And then I said, here I am, send me. I want to thank you for putting your hand up and saying, send me. Every one of you did that. You've answered a greater calling. But here's something that may surprise you, and maybe even especially to those who have never served in the military, is that something greater isn't necessarily your country. It may start that way, right? I think we're all patriots here. I think we all really we had a strong desire to serve our country and be part of something bigger. Many of you are still doing it today, right? But later on, the motivation, at least for me, shifted. It shifted for the desire to serve men and women that you serve with. Every day, getting up and going to work. And that man or woman to the right or the left of you, doing the same thing, working the same job, deploying the same way, going into battle the same way every time. You grow bonds that stay forever. And many of you are at tables right now with people you served with, I bet, right? Because those bonds are strong, and it started with the patriotism, but it became more about service to our brothers and sisters next to us. I walked around today, and I was sipping on some coffee, and I saw a full coffee pot. So I said, well, there's got to be somebody out there needing coffee. I'm going to walk around and give some coffee, right? Well, I found out that the demand started increasing in coffee, and I kept going back and filling the coffee carafe and pouring it out. I'm like, man, these guys are really drinking coffee. They must be tired. And finally, a couple of them said to me, I don't really want any more coffee. I just want to see Lieutenant Colonel serve me coffee. All right, game on. Game on. I'm here for you, and I mean that. I've always been that way. My very first commander, I was an Airman First Class in Key West, Florida. I know, hardship tour, right? And I got one of those details that all the young airmen get, that I had to clean up the head shed at the end of the week, right? The command section quarters. Friday afternoon, nobody's there. Everybody's gone, wherever they are, with their family, at the club, whatever. And I one thing left to do, clean the bathrooms. Great. After a week of the command section using the bathroom. And I start to clean the bathroom, and Colonel Bob Butler, now retired Colonel Bob Butler, comes into the bathroom, right? And I'm just thinking, hey, sir, how's it going? He comes in to use the bathroom, and he's going to leave. He comes in, he's in his blues, just like I am, on a Friday, the last person there, and he grabs a mop and a sponge and puts some gloves on and cleans the bathroom with me. That was my model. That was my mentor. From then on, it didn't matter. I didn't care what rank I was wearing. I wanted to serve just like you wanted to serve. There's a common bond we have. Our spouses, our children, they all understand the same thing, the experiences, and we begin to make sacrifices for those people we love. And those bonds still exist, like I said. Your attributes and sacrifice and service are baked in. The veterans in attendance today are still serving their communities and their brothers and sisters in arms. We have multiple veterans organizations here today that serve your community every single day. And a lot of it you'll never hear about because they're not doing it because they want attention. They're doing it because they love serving. That's who you are. And it's beautiful, especially in this city. I've been so impressed and amazed and so proud to be part of it because everywhere you turn, somebody's looking to serve somebody. You guys know no other way. In John 15:13, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. Now, I used to always think that just meant dying for your country, that I'd have to save that verse for Memorial Day. But every single one of you lays down your life when you sacrificially serve a brother or sister in arms. And I ask you to continue to do that. Each of you are worthy of that sacrifice, every single one of you, every single day for what you've done. You've served, you've sacrificed, and you suffered. And the sad part about this is some of you are still suffering. Some of you are still suffering. It's an unfortunate aspect of being wired in such a way that sometimes that wire flexes and it doesn't flex right back to where it's supposed to be. We can't explain it. We don't know how to tell people about it, but it's real. The scars are on the outside sometimes, but the scars on the inside run way deeper. And I'm here to tell you, if that's where you are right now, I feel you, and I'm here for you. Your city's here for you. Reach out to each other. Reach out to this city. Steve Patton's awesome. He just talked about on the surface of the things he and his team do for the veterans of Peabody. But there's so much more every day that he does. This is your community. This is Peabody. And again, I'm happy to be part of it. God bless you and your families, and have a blessed Veterans Day. Thanks.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel, for those words. Those were amazing. Final this morning, I had mentioned that we are going to, and we've done this every breakfast, we've given out a coin, Challenger coin, as a sign of respect, appreciation, and love for all the sacrifices and for your service, you and your family. So we have a special coin that we're going to give, and on the front, it just says, "The City of Peabody honors your military service," with a picture of City Hall, and then on the back, this year we have a dedication to Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm of the Gulf War. I wanted to ask, we're going to go around, we have volunteers to help, but I wanted to ask every veteran to stand up, and we're going to come present you with a coin. So please, all veterans, stand up, and we're going to bring the coins around. Oh. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you. See you in a few weeks for the big to-do outside. Yeah. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. I've learned, Tom. So, Steve, you want to bring that up and pick out of it? I know. Okay, so I hope everybody has a ticket. We're going to do a couple quick door prizes, and then we're going to wrap up. We are going to have a ceremony. It will be a brief ceremony right out in front at 11 a.m. or maybe a few minutes after that. That's being led by our outstanding Peabody Veterans Council. So I certainly invite you to join us for a very brief ceremony right in front of City Hall. But I wanted to do the door prizes. The first one is going to be the flag board that's right here in front of the stage. And I have no shot to read this.
I don't have any glasses.
I need my glasses. Oh, man. All right. 634 634-771. Blue ticket, 634-771. Please just raise your hand or stand up. All right, right over here. Good, Dad. That's great. That's great. And now we're going to have two free tickets to our holiday concert on Sunday, December 4th. So red ticket, 5470508. 5470508. Red ticket. All right. Excellent. Right over here. And then we have two gift certificates to Target that were donated. And the first one, blue ticket, 634843. 634843. Try one more time, 634843. All right, we'll pick another one. Again, a blue ticket, 634835. 634835. Yeah, going once. We will get somebody.
Try a red ticket.
Yeah, let's try a red ticket. 5470470. All right, we have a winner. All right. And one more gift certificate to Target. Red ticket 5470512. 0512. All right, we have a winner over here. So again, I want to thank all of you for your service, for being here today, you and your families. It's really hard to express what all of you mean to us, and I hope this shows some respect and admiration that all of you deserve. And I'm very grateful to all the volunteers that helped today. Our VSO, Steve Patton. I wanted to mention Beth Amico. Yep. I wanted to mention Beth Amico, Chris Ryder, Darryl McCarthy from my office for their hard work in putting this together, our city councilors, school committee members, elected officials. But mostly, thank you to all of you. We're going to be doing this again in 2 years. Hopefully, you'll be back. We'll have another great day. But happy Veterans Day to all of you, and God bless each and every one of you. So thank you.